The Zgounder mine is 2,000 years old. The silver from that mine used to be the silver used to make the coins 1,000 years ago from Morocco. And when we came in, we took it over. It was a small mine producing, less than 1 million ounces a year. And now we're turning it into a mine that's producing this year between 5 and 5.3 million ounces. Next year, above 6 million ounces. And our ultimate goal is to make this mine produce up to 8 million ounces a year.
This is Kaiser Johnson with Liberty and Finance, and these are the Miles Franklin Weekly Specials for June 23rd through June 30th, 2025, while supplies last. This week we feature 1-ounce silver backdated Australian kangaroos at just $2.99 over spot per ounce. And with the Australian Kangaroo Monster Box at just 250 ounces, these are some of the lowest priced monster boxes on the market. Next, backdated platinum 1-ounce Australian platypus coins are just $119 over spot. And 1 10th-ounce Canadian maple leaves are only $45 over melt per coin. And finally, constitutional silver dealer's choice dimes and quarters are just 99 cents over spot per ounce. Again, some of the lowest premiums we've seen on silver in years. To order our specials or any of the many other options we have available, call us at 1-888-81-LIBERTY. That's 1-888-815-4237. We're available after hours and on weekends, and we look forward to speaking with you.
Welcome back to Liberty and Finance. We're delighted to have a first-time guest today. Benoit Salle is the CEO of AYA Gold and Silver. Benoit, thank you for joining us this first time on Liberty and Finance.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's always a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to our discussion.
Our viewers and subscribers are accustomed to me introducing guests with the following, and that is that we are bringing you by virtue of Rick Rule, whom we know and love well on our channel since he's been with us every month for the past 13 years, and giving us lots of his wisdom and insight on how he scrutinizes and due diligence and looks at balance sheets and management teams and track records and asset sizes and the results and the market positioning and the jurisdictional risk and everything, so that he distills down and says, here's a needle in the haystack. You should look closer at this one. So that's why you're here. And we're grateful for that. And just as a tidbit to go with that we're going to see you in person at the Rule Symposium on Natural Resource Investing in Boca Raton, Florida next month, or at least a representative from AYA Gold and Silver. We'll be delighted to have you again explaining progress to our audience in that time. So anyway, welcome this first time. And one of the things that I'm learning about your company by looking through the information that Rick has shared is that you are rapidly on your way to becoming the largest silver producer in all of Africa, let alone Morocco, where your main asset is located. Can you give us the thumbnail sketch of AYA Gold and Silver and your position in the production of metals now, and where you intend to bring that and what kind of timeline?
Yes, thank you. And I will be at Rick's conference in July, though for us Canadian to go to 110 to 120 degrees is not a lot of fun, but I will be there.
We'll bring a bucket and you can just pour your guys into it and we'll carry you around and it won't be a problem.
Thank you. So we'll be there. So yes, AYA is now becoming a top producer in Africa. It's very unique about Morocco is the geology has these pure silver mine, native silver, pure silver mine. My guys were on site this week. They've hit the new zone that's like 2,000 grams per ton of silver over quite a distance. And this is unique to Morocco. So historically, Morocco has been a silver producer for as long as we know, about 2,000 years. The mines were discovered by the Romans on the Atlas Fault. And over the years, of course, from the Roman, it became the local populations. Then the Portuguese came in 500 years ago. And now you've got two unique silver mine. One is in the hand of Managem, a state-owned enterprise owned by the royal family in Morocco, and Zgounder, which is owned by AYA, 100% owned by AYA. The Zgounder mine is 2,000 years old. The silver from that mine used to be the silver used to make the coins 1,000 years ago from Morocco. And when we came in, we took it over. It was a small mine producing, less than 1 million ounces a year. And now we're turning it into a mine that's producing this year between 5 and 5.3 million ounces. Next year, above 6 million ounces. And our ultimate goal is to make this mine produce up to 8 million ounces a year. We have an amazing district. It's like we own Nevada or we own Colorado. In Morocco at that mine, we own the district, and we've touched 2-3% of the anomalies and of the targets. So that's the beauty of Morocco. Is historically they were mining it, but they've never done a lot of exploration. We started the exploration 4 years ago and took this project from 40 million ounces. Today it has over 100 million ounces of resource and growing. So yes, we are becoming the #1 silver producer in Africa. Our goal is even to grow bigger. We have 2 projects. So I'm just talking about our first project, which we hope to take in the next few years to up to 8 million ounces per year of pure silver. No lead, no zinc, no copper. Our ingots are 99.3% silver.
That's remarkable. And when you talked about 2,000 grams per ton, that's a number that I've not heard before. It's remarkable.
Yeah, we do have those hits regularly at Zgounder. Of course, we're not mining that because, we're mining a disseminated structure, but we do have these, I call them those cathedrals of silver where you go in there and it is thousands of grams per ton. And that is unique to Morocco.
You've described where these targets of where you're meaning to get your production to. I understand you just are ramping up production for the first few quarters here. Can you talk to us about what that ramp has looked like so far?
Yeah, so we've built a third plant because when we took over, there were 2 small plants. So they were very small. The capacity was 700 ton a day. And then we built state-of-the-art, brand new plant in 2023, 2024. We received the plant from the EPC contractor on December 5th, and we took 3 weeks for commissioning. So by the end of December last year, we declared commercial production, which in our industry, I think it will be in the Guinness record book. So we did 3 weeks of commissioning, and then from there, we started the ramp up. And now the ramp up we are in the 5th month or starting the 6th month of ramp up. We are already above nameplate capacity, and all the key performance indicator that we're following, plant throughput above nameplate, mine capacity or mine production above the plan, recoveries. Our goal was to be around 89, 90. Now we're a little bit above 90% in the recoveries. So, the plant availability, we're at like 95%. Our goal is to be 92 to 95%. So there's one KPI that we're not where we want it to be, which is in the underground mine is the mine dilution. So we're a little bit over diluting the deposit. So it's creating pressure on the grade. But of the 5 KPIs that you need to manage in your ramp up, we got 4 of them done, and we're working on the 5th one. So we will have done a ramp up in 6 months. Again, in our industry, that's pretty quick. And but we were above nameplate within 1 month. So it's going very well. Now, the other thing we have to mention is building in Morocco is about 1/3 the cost of building anywhere around the world. So a plant that in North America would cost 500 million, we can do that in Morocco for 150 million. So we did our plant expansion. The net cost of our plant expansion is 140 million.
You mentioned in another interview the cost of adding an extensive power line to your property was also done at a fraction of the cost that it would have cost you, for example, in Canada. Can you educate our investors about that?
Well, every time we have people on site, we drive up to site and we see this beautiful high voltage power line that we built on 92 kilometer with 2 power stations, and we did that for $6 million. In Canada, a power line is $1 million, and in North America, in the States as well, it's $1 million a kilometer. So we did 92 kilometers, so technically it should be 92 million, and we did that for 6 million. And so this is what Morocco is all about. Great jurisdiction, beautiful geology, fantastic people, but the costs are the best.
You also mentioned elsewhere about the timeline to permitting being very favorable there relative to what you have to go through in other geographies.
So time to permitting, as you know, in Canada, we're saying now we'd like to bring it down to 7 years from the date you apply to from 9. And in United States, how long it is. In Europe, it's never. So it's very, very difficult. In Morocco, time to permitting is you count that in weeks or in months. So and it can be very, very, very quick. They operate like maybe we do now in North America. This is a strategic project, let's get it done. So if you are a strategic project in Morocco, they get it done. Like everybody is aligned, the government is aligned, the municipalities, the governors, because it's like kind of a French lookalike system. The governors are aligned, and you get it done. Like it's and that's why I say publicly, Morocco is today, for me, the best mining jurisdiction in the world because of permitting, people, and infrastructure.
When you talked about the nameplate capacity and passing the key performance indicator KPIs, you were near and dear to my heart there. I have a deep career background in manufacturing engineering, and that's exciting to hear. In fact, the last company I worked for 14 years was a solar company consuming silver, and it's good to know where it's coming from on the other side of the coin there. Also, I wanted to talk about something you just announced, and that's the securing of additional financing that's going to support further exploration, because you mentioned here the extent of the land that you have, and yet the small fraction of the actual targets that you've been able to characterize with drilling exploration. Can you educate us about that program that you just got financing secured for?
Yeah, so we just raised $144 million from in a financing where the book was at 300 million. So the demand was 300 million. We cut that down. We also made sure that we didn't serve the shorts, because there's a short interest on AYA, and we'll get back to that. But what we have is our second project called Boumadine, and Boumadine in the local language means the father of all deposit. So it's the biggest of all, and that comes 2,000 years ago. And when we took over, we had 34 square kilometers. Now we have 700 square kilometers. The first structure that recently Rick was referring to is 5.2 kilometer long. It's been drilled down to 300 meters. And that today is at 450 million ounces of silver. We will need to drill more to bring that from inferred to measured and indicated, and we will be looking to put that into production in the coming few years, and we wanted to accelerate this. So we'll be doing next year more than 200,000 meters of drilling. This year, we are doing approximately 140,000 meters. We're working on a very tight PEA, almost pre-feasibility PEA that we're working on right now. We will accelerate drilling, accelerate the work on the PEA. And that structure, 5.2 kilometer, is on one of the 20 permits that we have. And it represents 5 kilometers of strike, but of structures that we follow everywhere. I would say today we probably have 30 to 40 kilometers of lookalike structures on all our permits. And the 450 million ounces comes from 5.2 kilometer only down to 300 meters. So it is a very, very large system. It's most likely a pore-free system with a lot of fluids. And we own this, and there are no neighbors. We are in the district, in the region again, we are by ourselves.
Another thing that caught my eye on your website was talking about how AYA has a strategy of building shareholder value by taking an ecologically sound approach. Can you touch on that? Because I don't think we've heard about that yet today.
That's right. So there, our values are present. We make sure that, all our employees, buy into our values, which is being, extremely present in the community and being part of the community and being green, because we believe many of our shareholders, many of our employees want us to be as green as possible. So one thing that we did is the complete mine, the camp is 100% solar and wind. So our energy that we do get from that power line, which is green, it comes from a solar and wind power plant. So we have green energy. To that, we have all of our ESG, water management, tailings management. We follow all the international standards, and we do have a team on corporate social responsibility. So if you look at our website, you see we have medical programs, education program, and what I like the most is we also have farms where we help people become better farmers, and we do saffron, because Morocco, the high Atlas, is known for the quality of the saffron, and so we're helping the communities, and you'll see some videos on how we are there with new, with agricultural tips and methods, and making them better farmers and helping them sell the saffron on the international market. So, and why we do this, because we want the communities, to benefit, because again, a mine will employ maybe 1,000 person, but you want all the villages to feel that there's a benefit from that mine. And the best way to do that is to create jobs, but not only at the mine, but in the infrastructure. So we buy everything locally. All of our food that we need, all the equipment that we need, the construction, we don't buy prefab things from all over the world. We make sure that everything's made in Morocco, and we create this economic growth area around the mines which is sustainable. And we've been very good at doing that historically when we were working in West Africa, and now we're doing it in Morocco, and it's working very, very well.
Another comment that Rick made caught my ear. He said not only that, and this is not surprising in that he's hand-selected your company to be at the Rule Symposium and recommends it. So I knew that the next thing he said was going to be coming, and that was that he has high confidence in a proven management team. So that's one thing. But the thing that caught my ear was he said, the only reason he isn't beating the drum harder about AYA stock, which he was doing when it was at stupid low valuations, is that now the stock has basically doubled from where it was when he was saying that. But he says still look for surprises to the upside. And that's in a favorable silver market, which is exactly what he expects for the next several years. Any comments from you either on the management team's proven track record that would give Rick that kind of confidence in you? And secondly, on his notion that where you might be not as undervalued as you maybe were previously, he still is looking in a positive silver environment for surprises to the upside from AYA's performance.
Yeah, so on the management team, we've been together for many 20 years, 25 years. We built SEMAFO together, which was a beautiful success. Rick was part of that as well. We sold that 5 years ago to Endeavor, and it was a beautiful transaction. Then we took over AYA. So he knows that this is our 5th construction on time and on budget. We did 4 at SEMAFO. We did, and now this is our first real one in AYA, and we're on time and on budget again. So in our industry, that's quite unique, and we have a very strong construction team. We have people with us that have been around, that have been together, and they have done it, and they will continue to do it. Now, why? And he mentioned that is, for 4 years, we were top performer on the TSX. So we got like top performance for 4 years in a row. We went to $19 last year in November. It was a very good silver market. It was a little high, knowing that when we came in 5 years ago, the stock was 60 cents. So from 60 cents to $19, I know some people took profit on the way there, which is great. But then we were attacked by the shorts, and there were funds that started shorting us, which is a good trade. Short AYA and buy GDXJ or buy SILJ, or, there's a trade. And today, as we speak, we have 20 million shares short on AYA, and the free float is 80 million. So on the free float, there's 25% that's been borrowed, and it's short. So when we did the financing, when you do a financing, you have your top line, and you have your top left, and your book runner and all that. We were book runners. We did our banking syndicate and said, we are the book runner. And we will, with you guys, allocate where the shares go, because we do not want to cover a short account. We had one order that came into the book for $33 million from somebody we didn't even know. That's impossible after 30 years in the industry. So that was a short cover. So that was allocated nothing. And so today the financing is done. The 140 million is closed. We've received the money. We have a very strong balance sheet. We only have one debt with EBRD, which is a development bank debt, so very soft. We have a very strong balance sheet with the money, and we have a buyer out there, Mr. Anonymous. Mr. Anonymous needs to buy 20 million shares. And that's going to come from here to year end, because we have series of news items coming out regularly till the PA on Boumadine. And the PA on Boumadine, which will come out in Q4, either the shorts will cover or they'll be looking for another job in another fund. It'll be, you can be shorts, but at one point, if we don't do financing, you'll have to jump into the market. Never forget, at the board, we control 40% of this company. So there's not a lot of supply coming at you. And we have very good long-term shareholders, very, very good funds. So that short position, which we understand, we were top performer, we did the financing, we did not feed them. Now they need to cover. They haven't started yet. They have not started, but we'll make sure that by year end, they're all gone or almost all gone. And that's what Rick was saying. And he was laughing and saying, and there's 20 million shorts that they will need to buy.
So that's another famous quote from Rick that he does pull out periodically, and that is that he loves to be hated, meaning he loves to find something that he knows has underlying intrinsic value, extreme value, and that he has high confidence in, which is unloved by the market for one reason or another. So it sounds like this concentrated short position is one of those examples. So for potential investors and our viewers and subscribers who want to find out more about AYA Gold and Silver, they can look in the description of this video for basic information on how to get to the company's website. And folks, I would suggest you consider also looking in the description of this video for a link to register for the conference. You can show up in person in Boca Raton. That would be ideal. Or if you need to not travel, you want to do it from the comfort of your home, you can get 100% virtual attendance through all the live streaming and the recordings, etc. And don't want to miss that. Rick Rule has reminded us again and again why that's going to be a great way to find out more. But Benoit, any additional tips from you if people want to familiarize themselves more with AYA Gold and Silver before taking the plunge?
Well, we do a lot of these videos, so it's on YouTube. If they put AYA, they'll find a lot of videos that they can watch. They'll see my email address. If some have specific question, they want to write me a note. I reply to every email I get. Make sure they get the answer. So we're accessible. I will be personally. Our head of IR will be there at Rick's conference. We'll spend the whole week. We'll be there. You can come and see us. We'll have some maps. We'll have some silver. We'll show you what we're doing. And yes, and in mining, in a fast, growing environment, and where the commodity price is going up, there's jurisdiction. That to me is the key thing, because when people get greedy, we've seen it, Mali, Guinea, Ecuador, South America. When countries get greedy in a very good commodity market, it's very difficult for investors and for the company. So to me, it's all about jurisdiction, and we're in the number one jurisdiction right now, which is called Morocco. And if you come, the food's fantastic, the beach great, surfing, mountain, skiing, you have it all. A wine in the Atlas Mountain, you have it all. It's one of the best places in the world to be.
That's a new, they've got all kinds of different tourism that's been developed recently. Maybe there's a new kind of tourism called natural resource tourism. We should think about that. All right, Benoit, thank you for joining us, and thank you for bringing AYA Gold and Silver before our audience here at Liberty and Finance for the very first time. We're grateful for your presence and look forward to talking with you again.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
This is Kaiser Johnson with Liberty and Finance, and these are the Miles Franklin Weekly Specials for June 23rd through June 30th, 2025, while supplies last. This week we feature 1 ounce silver backdated Australian kangaroos at just $2.99 over spot per ounce. And with the Australian Kangaroo Monster Box at just 250 ounces, these are some of the lowest priced monster boxes on the market. Next, backdated platinum 1 ounce Australian platypus coins are just $119 over spot. And 1 10th ounce Canadian maple leaves are only $45 over melt per coin. And finally, constitutional silver dealer's choice dimes and quarters are just 99 cents over spot per ounce. Again, some of the lowest premiums we've seen on silver in years. To order our specials or any of the many other options we have available, call us at 1-888-81-LIBERTY. That's 1-888-815-4237. We're available after hours and on weekends, and we look forward to speaking with you.